Hello there everyone, GamerDad here. Thank you so much for joining me for another video, another entry into the Nintendo News of the Week. We actually have a lot of different stories to cover for this, from everything that happened this week, because it was a lot of different stuff to go through and to jam pack it in here for this. And hopefully I can get to it all in a timely manner so y'all aren't just on the hook for just trying to listen to and thinking I'm boring you. But we got just some leaks and rumors going on around from Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2 news, the games that released for the week, as well as the deals for you to take advantage of, which are, in my opinion, very good deals. And so, with all that out of the way, we're going to jump right into this video with the Community Spotlight. So, in these Community Spotlights, as you know, I'm just going to shout out the people that have subscribed to the channel so I can thank you personally. And I really do want to thank each and every single one of you personally. So the two that I actually have for this week is for Flint155 and Sebi440. And I also really want to say that I've actually got my very first member, which I was astonished to see it there. It's for, and very shout out to you, LiquidWireG. This just really means a lot to me, and I can't express to you what it actually means. And so if you are a subscriber to the channel, even if you're a new person watching this channel, hit that subscribe button. Comment down below what made you hit that subscribe button. What do you like about the channel? And you will get your name shouted out in the next video. So I don't think that's a bad deal. And as part of these community spotlights, I do have a creator shout out. So this week's creator shout out is Switch Seeker. He's actually a really good guy. He's really got some good videos. I like watching all of his pickup videos and just seeing, like, because it isn't just games. It's toys and everything, and it's really brings me right back to my childhood. So like my nerdy inner child is like, yes, I love this stuff. And so please do go over there, check him out, subscribe to this channel, help him to keep growing, and let's just show him a little bit of love, please. And so with that out of the way, let's get into the news of the week.
Nintendo News of the Week! Hear all about it!
So the very first story that I actually have to cover for y'all was from Kadokawa, and they have actually did recently a interview, and they actually reaffirmed that Elden Ring, the Tarnished Edition, as well as Duskbloods, is still slated to be coming out this year. There's been a bunch of speculation about them for delayed because there isn't a really time frame as far as like for when it will be coming out, and we haven't really been getting that much information. So a bunch of people have been speculating that, oh, it's got to be getting pushed off to next year. Nope, they reaffirmed it, said it is still on track to be released for this year. Now there's still a lot more of the year to come, so who knows what's going to happen between now and then, but as far as for now, still look forward to it. And if I'm not mistaken, there was, I believe it was on the Canadian site, where they actually saw that the Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, where it actually had a placeholder. Well, they were saying that they don't think that it's a placeholder, but where it was, I want to say it was either June or July for a release date for it. I'm not 100% certain because I just kind of glanced over the story, so I don't recall it off the top of my head. But so I guess we'll find out whether or not that was true or not. The next story I actually have for another game company is actually from, this was an interview with, I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Virtuos? Because it's not spelled like virtuous to me, anyways. But they went through, so they had a interview, and during that interview, they actually said that the team, I actually really want to, the team is eager to adapt Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I don't know if they truly meant it to be for the Nintendo Switch, or if they're meaning it to be for the Nintendo Switch 2 and just kind of left out the 2. Because, well, I feel that they might be able to bring Grand Theft Auto 5 to the original Switch. I don't know how well it would run. And then also, as far as, yes, they did bring Red Dead Redemption to the Switch. But from what I understand, it didn't run the greatest. And so a game much more heavily needing that extra hardware, that boost in power, I don't think the Switch could be able to handle Red Dead Redemption 2. But I think both of these games would be great to come over to the Switch 2. And with the base and the fan base coming through as the Switch 2 is coming online, I think they're like at 20 million units. I mean, that's a lot of units. That's already a lot, like, expansive base to get these games to try to get to take advantage of that, so they could actually be making more money in preparation for Grand Theft Auto 6, which is supposedly coming to the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if there's like a definitive thing saying that it will definitely come to the Switch too. If there is, I haven't seen it. But, I mean, that's not saying that it's not out there. I'm just saying that I haven't seen it personally. And, hey, if you actually know, if you've read in a story somewhere that it is coming to the Switch too, hey, comment down below, and I will be sure to go and check it out. And, yeah, I could do research on it myself and everything, but so much going on. Just, hey, and to get y'all involved in this as well. So, and then this is like an announcement from Nintendo that they will actually be present at this year's Gamescom. And so this is kind of like the replacement for E3. And this Gamescom is actually taking place at the end of August. So just before that deadline for the price hike to go into effect for the Switch 2. And so this is actually really leading me to speculate for them to be present for here, that because the president did say that they had a robust list of games to make it that price hike to be justifiable. So them being present here really leads me to believe that they really do have this list of games that they're going to show off, and that they will show it off here at Gamescom just in time for that price increase, so that way they can just go through and justify to keep the sales going for the Switch 2 and probably try to finish the year off like on a strong foot, especially in lieu of like for the holidays. So they might release some of these bigger holiday bangers, like such as like for the 3D Mario, or a brand new 3D Legend of Zelda, which is speculated to be coming on, like the Ocarina of Time remake. I mean, those would be definitely like system sellers, in my opinion. And the very last thing we actually had for Nintendo news was they released a new game that you can actually get. It's a mobile game called Pictonico. If that's, or Picton, I don't know how you want to pronounce it. I'm going to say Pictonico. But I'm just going to say that from looking at this, it looks weird. Like, really weird. And it makes, in my opinion, just makes Nintendo look very greedy, because it's a free-to-start game. You have to pay for the volumes to play for these little mini games, and it functions off using your camera to take pictures, and how the games are like related to those pictures and stuff. And I'm like, this is definitely not for me. I mean, it might be for you. And if you've actually seen the trailer for this and it looks good to you, hey, you can comment down below and say, hey, I actually like the way that this game looks. Hey, no shade to you, and more power to you. Just not my thing. So, I don't really know what else to say from that, other than it was just a weird, looks like a cash grab to me. But maybe y'all view it as something different. And so, going on from this, we actually go into the leaks and rumors. And the first leak that we actually have was some data miners were actually going through and looking at for Genshin Impact. And so they actually saw that the Nintendo Switch was added to the in-game account login manager. Now, when this game was first released, or not when it was released, when it was first announced to be released, the Nintendo Switch was included for it to be released. But then for some reason, we didn't hear anything about the Nintendo Switch being here for this game. I mean, it's been like, what, 5 years since then, and no word, and then all of a sudden it just pops up. But I don't know if it actually will be for the Nintendo Switch. There's a lot more speculation based upon, like, for the hardware and how the game's supposed to run and everything, that it would be for the Nintendo Switch 2 rather than the Nintendo Switch. And that makes actually a lot of sense to me. I mean, because you got, Final Fantasy 14 is coming to the Switch 2, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was coming for the Switch. I do think it was only the Switch 2. And so you're just going through and you're looking at this. So I could see where it would come or could come to the Switch 2. And so you can also comment down below if you think that that makes sense, if it's a good game, and you would actually be excited for this news to be coming out. And then the very next one is a leak from, what's this guy's name? Bill? I've never heard of his name until this story. And so he actually released it. So we did know that there was a leak for Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition, how it got rated. Well, this leaker here, Bill Coon, actually did say a little bit more information about the game. And so saying that it's coming to the Switch 2 on June the 23rd. Now, coincidentally, that happens to actually be Sonic the Hedgehog's what his birthday is on June 23rd. So, hey, a birthday present for the Sonic fans. Getting the brand new edition out there for Sonic 2. The Switch 2. I have not played this game. I've seen it in the discount section, so I'm really curious kind of about it. And you can comment down below if you've played it, if it's any good. It will actually be for $49.99 releasing. They haven't stated whether it would be a game key card or fully on cartridge. So that was something else really to look forward to, or to look out for back in the future. And the very last leak that we actually had is coming from Nash Weedle. And so he's kind of hit or miss on some of his leaks that he's done. And actually, so he was talking about a 2D Zelda is in the works. And it has the code name of Bernard. And there's speculation going around that for this 2D Zelda, the main protagonist character on it would be Ganondorf. And so that actually does seem very interesting to me. I'm like, how could you come up with a protagonist being for Ganondorf? I mean, because he's supposed to be the bad guy, isn't he? Or would it be a story of how he becomes evil? I mean, the speculation for it was kind of all over the place for what kind of game this could be, and would it be in the style of for Echoes of Wisdom or Link's Awakening, which I'm actually a really huge fan of that art style. So you comment down below if you think that that's a viable game plan for them to actually be for this. Actually, my own opinion for it is, I kind of think for 2D Zelda, if they were going to remake it, they would be starting to remake the oracles. So the red would actually, if it is supposed to be related to power, would obviously be the Oracle of Seasons. And then, of course, there's the Oracle of Ages. And then there was the third game that we actually never got released. which were supposed to correspond for the Triforce of Power. And so, because that's what it's supposed to be, red, blue, and green, we only got the red and blue. So that I would actually really be curious in one of the for that to be released. But what we all know, we'll see what happens with that. And moving on from the leaks into the rumors, the first rumor going around, and I classify it as a rumor, is because I haven't found anything official about this. So it's about Nintendo was launching the Switch 1 in India. And it was going to get a price. They were saying that it was going to get a price tag for 20,000 rupees, or not rupees, rupees. And yes, I know how that piggybacks off of Legend of Zelda rupees. Ha ha ha. But anyways, so I did not see anything. I've looked at multiple sources for this, but nothing like confirmed and definitive saying that it is coming into India for the Switch 1. But it does kind of line up with the president of Nintendo saying that he wasn't going to like force people to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 because they want to kind of support the Switch 1. Going into India is a huge market. And so if they can go through and actually start selling that, I mean, because I believe the 20,000 rupees actually comes out to roughly around $250 American, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it's a 10-year-old console coming over there for $250. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good price. And this could actually catapult that system to being like the record holder for the most systems sold like forever. And because I believe, I can't remember off the top of my head how many it was needed to actually topple the PlayStation 2. But I know it was close. And so that could actually push it over the edge. And very next one is a rumor from Nate the Hate. And he was actually talking about that he was hearing about Sony was actually looking at some of its like older, outdated, and not used IPs and saying that they were going to looking to like kind of revitalize them, which that's actually very interesting to me because there are a lot of RPGs there that were old Sony IPs that just kind of died and went away, and I would love to have them revived, be able to play them today, modern audiences, maybe even modern updated graphics, quality of life features added to them, just to make them better and play off that nostalgia factor for them, such as like for Legend of Dragoon, Legend of Legaia, which is a very underrated system or game in my opinion. I thoroughly enjoyed the very first one. And I remember like renting it from Blockbuster repeatedly. And Wild Arms, great series. You have Arc the Lad, Beyond the Beyond, which kind of, I know some people love it, some people hate it. But I mean, like, yeah, you have some popular IPs over there that they could be working on for RPGs. So that in itself, to me, is very exciting, and I really hope it's true. Yeah, my wallet's going to be crying because of those games. I'm going to end up having to buy them, but still, I would be happy to get them, play them again, experience them all over again, and add them to the collection behind me. And very next one is actually another rumor from Nate the Hate, where he was actually saying, because someone was asking him about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And so he was actually saying, like, from his personal expectations was that it would actually come to the Nintendo Switch 2 sometime this year. Which, I mean, we got the Xenoblade Chronicles X, which got released on the Switch 2. This is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is actually, like, the best-selling Xenoblade Chronicles game that they actually had. So for it to come to the Switch 2 is actually, it makes a lot of sense for them to be able to get more money off that and to piggyback off of that to maybe maybe we'll get another iteration for the definitive edition for Xenoblade Chronicles 1, or maybe 3, maybe for 2 they might actually be able to include that, so you can combine them all, so the Torna could actually be there as one solid game. I don't know if they could do that or not, but that's still just speculation underneath, and that's why I'm saying that it's a rumor. Whether or not it's going to happen, we don't know, but it's still exciting to think about. And the very last rumor was actually from Jeff Grubb, when he was on the podcast, and he said that he's been hearing about a direct coming in mid-June. And Nintendo almost always does a direct in June. I think the only year that they missed was because of COVID, I believe, or something like that. But it's been a while, but it's always been a June direct, so I don't see how that's like really far-fetched. And with how we know about these games coming, like there's so much we don't know past June. So a direct coming in June to be able to get for the second half of the year really makes a lot of sense. So I believe there's a lot of credence to this rumor. And so if you actually, I'm excited about this, and comment down below if you would actually be excited, because I believe we do really need a Nintendo Direct. And also, actually in this Direct, since it is Zelda's 40th anniversary, they might be able to release, like obviously for like the Ocarina of Time remake, like put that to rest, so it's not a rumor, it actually would be confirmed. Maybe like as Legend of Zelda, maybe they'll get like a specific Switch 2 edition, like for the actual system, or some Legend of Zelda hardware, rather than, as opposed to like, what was it, like a little Game & Watch thing is what they did for like the 35th anniversary, which wasn't all that spectacular, but hopefully they'll do something more for the 40th. And then, so moving right along, this for the news. Hey, if you do like this kind of content, please do throw a like on the video, share it, hype it up. It all helps me out tremendously. If you're watching this and you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. Just all helps me out. I greatly appreciate everything that you do, all the comments, all the likes. And if you want to see more of this series, yeah, please do throw a like and comment that you like the series, that you want to see more of it, and just to kind of help me to keep going and wanting to put out more content and stuff like this for you. Now, moving along to the games that actually released this week. So, one of the games you actually had releasing this week was the Cozy Game. Because it seems every single week there's the Cozy Game. Well, this is chill Cozy Game is for Farming Simulator 26. And so, it's almost like every other farming simulator. You get to hop in different machines, doing for your crops as you're doing your farm, and just kind of a chill, laid back game. I believe I only have like one farming simulator game back here, and I still haven't actually had time to play it. So if you're in a farming simulator games, then I guess maybe that game is for you. And then the very next game that you had was for Starbites. Now, this was actually really exciting for me. I was actually really looking forward to Starbites because it is a turn-based sci-fi RPG, and like, so the combat is in the turn-based combat, but you actually have customizable like mechs that you're actually in. So the sci-fi aspect of it like really seems like very intriguing to me. Since it did release this week, there have been reviews out, kind of mixed reviews. It's coming. I ordered it. I pre-ordered it actually from, I can't think of it, NIS America. Yes, I pre-ordered it from them. I actually got an email today saying that it's not going to be until next week before it actually arrives for me for the collector's edition for it. And if you know anything, there was actually supposed to be a Nintendo Switch 2 edition for this, which was a game key card, but it got such poor pre-orders and everything that they just went ahead and did away with it and canceled the Switch 2 edition. So it's no longer coming to the Switch 2. Just going to be for the Switch. And the very next game is King of Tokyo. If you do not know what this game is, it's actually based off of the board game in which you are playing this as the various kaiju or the monsters that actually would be coming to destroy Tokyo. And so I actually have played this with friends a lot, and it's a very fun game. I was actually really excited to hear this was getting a Switch 2 to be able, because this just presents another way to be able to play with friends, or I can play with as our family, and we can actually go there and fight over who gets to destroy Tokyo. So it just looks like a really fun game. And then the very next game that released was, as of the time of this recording, released yesterday, was Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. So this is Yoshi's entrance into this Nintendo Switch 2. The art style for it looks very interesting. I really enjoyed it because I did pick it up and have played it for a while, and it's actually a really fun time letting my girls get to play it too. It's a different experience from any other Yoshi game I've ever played. And it just really, I think it's really worth the time, especially if you pre-ordered it and you got that $10 off bonus like I had talked about in previous videos. And the very next game we actually have, it did not release. They are taking pre-orders for this currently. It is a limited quantity thing that you might want to take advantage of, because as of the time of this recording, they only have 12% stock left for this. So if you're interested in this game, you need to get in there and get it. And it is actually for Bloodshed from Super Rare Games. And so this is actually a really good looking boomer shooter where you can actually choose different classes. So they actually play differently for how they actually get to fight off the hordes of the monsters. There's tons of weapons and spells to be able to take for you to be able to try to survive. And it actually really looks like a really fun time. And so at Super Rare Games, it's $41.64, which isn't a bad deal for a Switch game. And so, especially for a limited quantity thing, they said they have 3,000 copies is actually what they're going to be doing for this game. And so, being at 12% left, that's a little over, 300 left. So, if you're actually looking for this game, might want to go through, and I will include the link down below. So, hopefully, when you get this video, you can click on that link, and you'll actually be able to get that game pre-ordered. Now, that actually moving off from this game is or piggybacking off of this is the pick of the week. My pick of the week actually is for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I just said like a couple of minutes ago, I have played this game. It is actually a really fun game that I actually really did enjoy. My wife was actually watching me play it, and she was helping me to try to solve the puzzles for some of the levels, and she was actually getting very distracted from what it was that she was doing. She just basically stopped. She's like, "Oh, maybe if you go through and you jump here, do this. Oh, maybe if you do this over here," and just kind of trying to help me to figure it out a little bit. So it was just a really fun game. So that was my pick of the week. Moving on to the deals of the week.
Deals of the week.
And so these two deals of the week I have talked about previously. They are still going on. So you can actually still get in on this. So the very first one is for Forgive Me, Father. You can actually pre-order this now at VGP. And so it is actually going to be for $29.03, which is a very good deal for trying to actually pre-order this game to get it, because I was looking online for trying to buy this, and I actually saw anywhere from like 70, 80 bucks. I actually even saw one for $129 on eBay for this game. So that's almost $100 savings that you can do. And The very last deal that you have is for Legend of Nayuta, Boundless Trails. So you can actually pre-order this because they're actually getting a restock in for a reprint of this at VGP. It's for $47.17. And if you were actually to look online trying to get this, it's anywhere from $75 to 90 cents, or 90 cents, $75 to $90. And this is actually a very fun game. It's supposed to be a part of the Legend of Heroes series, but it isn't exactly. It has nothing to do with any of the Legend of Heroes arcs. It's like its own thing, but it's like a combination of that, but with the action and combat as you're platforming and fighting the monsters and everything is more like an ease game. So it was actually a really fun time that I actually had when I played it and beat it. And so I have a feeling that you would be able to have fun playing this and adding it to your collection as well. And so take advantage of these deals. Like I said, both of them, I will include the links down below for them. So, another one in the books. I really hope you do enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching if you are still here. Have a great day, a great night. God bless you all. I'll see you all next time.